In April of 2021, researchers revealed the first known case of a mummified pregnant woman. The fetus has been preserved for over 2,000 years due to an uncommon preservation method. Held in the National Museum of Warsaw, which is the capital of Poland, the mummy was originally thought to be a priest, but had been discovered to be an embalmed woman in 2016. Researchers believe she was between 20 to 30 years old and was in her 26th to 30th week of pregnancy when she passed. A new study reveals that the corpse had been covered with natron to dry and preserve the body. Natron is a naturally occurring salt mixture found in the bottom of saline lakes, consisting of sodium bicarbonate, which is just baking soda, sodium carbonate decahydrate, which is a form of soda ash, and small amounts of table salt and sodium sulfate. Now here's the crazy part. The natron formed a highly acidic environment in the body, which essentially pickled the fetus. The high acidity leached minerals out of the fetal bones, which then dried out and mineralized. In layman's terms, this process turned bones into rock, which can then last for about 1,000 years. Under a CT scan, you can almost see the dried tissues of the fetal hands and feet, but the most visible is the skull, which is what develops the quickest in a fetus and has been the most mineralized due to its higher bone density. The mummy has been dubbed as the Mysterious Lady due to her unknown origins. The coffin was donated to the University of Warsaw back in 1826. The donor claimed that it was found in the royal tombs in Thebes, but the concern here is that it was common back then to exaggerate the origins of artifacts in order to increase their worth. The inscriptions on the coffin indicate that it belonged to a priest named This, which I had mentioned earlier. The CT scans have confirmed the body to be of a pregnant woman, leading researchers to deduce that the bodies have been swapped, whether intentional or unintentional, by antiquity dealers in the 19th century. This probably means that we'll never know where this lady came from or what her story was, but at least we have Pickle Baby. In early 2021, a severe snowstorm named Filomena hit northern Spain, bringing the heaviest snowfall in the area since 1971. Unaccustomed to the weather, animals in the region struggled to find food and shelter. This led to one unlucky badger who, digging into a hole in desperate search of food, only found some useless, inedible metal discs. Our buddy burrowed into a crack in La Cuesta cave and unearthed 209 Roman coins dating as far back as 200 to 500 AD. A few months later, a local and two Spanish archaeologists visiting the cave discovered the badger's nest along with the coins. Further excavations will be conducted in hopes that more artifacts can be uncovered. After analysis, the archaeologists have found that these coins come from places like Antioch, Constantinople, Thessaloniki, and one even from London, all during the late era of ancient Rome. Researchers believe that the coins had originally been stashed there by refugees due to the invasion of barbarians at the time. This discovery is a representation of the transition into a new period, where the introduction of several barbarian groups led to the fall of Rome and initiated the medieval era. Needless to say, the archaeologists who discovered the artifacts were ecstatic to have found the coins and described it as a unique moment that you can dream about from a young age. It's an exceptional moment that you never think you will have as an archaeologist. After being cleaned and prepared, the coins will go up for display at the Archaeological Museum of Asturias. As for a badger, we'll just have to hope that there were some earthworms beneath all those rusty coins. On an island, in the middle of the Rutland Water Nature Preserve, in the middle of Rutland County, in the middle of England, lies a 30-foot fossil that has been hailed as the greatest paleontological discovery in Britain for the past 200 years. In January of 2021, conservationist Joe Davis was conducting some maintenance on the lagoon of the nature preserve when he stumbled upon some large fossilized bones jutting out of the sand. Joe quickly snapped a few pictures and eventually sent it to paleontologist Dean Lomax. Dr. Lomax immediately recognized it as the fossils of Ichthyosaurus vertebrae and set out to excavate the skeleton with experts from around the UK. By September, the team had dug out what came to be the largest and most complete skeleton of an Ichthyosaurus in Britain. This 180 million-year-old individual measures over 30 feet, or 10 meters, in length, with its 7-foot skull weighing over 1 ton. For reference, one of the largest Ichthyosaurus specimens was found in Nevada, measuring up to 56 feet, 17 meters, but its skull was 6 feet long. Ichthyosaurs lived along dinosaurs from the Triassic to the Cretaceous period, but were not classified as such. They are categorized as fully aquatic marine reptiles since they evolved from land reptiles 246 million years ago. Their diet is still being understood, but we know that they were apex predators that dined on squids, mollusks, reptiles, and even other ichthyosaurs, indicated by the marks and isolated ichthyosaurus teeth found around the skeleton of the specimen. Interestingly enough, this specimen was not the first of its kind to be found at the Rutland Water Nature Preserve, as two much smaller, incomplete specimens had previously been found during the initial construction of the preserve in the 1970s. The skeleton was transported to a nearby laboratory in multiple trucks, with the main trunk of the body being transported in a trailer, since it was too large for a single truck. Dr. Lomax predicts that it will take up to 2 years to remove all the rock from the bones and preserve the specimen, where it will then hopefully be put up for display in Rutland itself. If you made it this far, I just want to say thanks. If you enjoyed watching, please consider liking and subscribing because it really does help. Please let me know in the comments what you think, or if I missed anything, or if there's anything you want me to talk about. But for now, I hope you all have a good one.